Thanks.
Jesus, this guy.
My Lord, the continual references to souls resting in peace has got to me somewhat in the light of my bereavement. Mr. Beerkus will take over leading the witness, and I will resume tomorrow again, if it behoves the court. Thank you, my Lord.
That's fine.
My Lord, I hope that there's no objection from the side of the state. Good afternoon, my Lord. Good afternoon, Mr. ESAU. How are you today?
Thanks.
So I will just be taking over from Mr. Metcalf in terms of leading you. He will then attend to same tomorrow. Okay.
Thanks. My Lord.
Now, prior to the break, you testified on quite a number of aspects, but before I proceed, obviously I'm a new person that will be leading you. I also just want us to quickly recap just on one or two issues, and then you can proceed. Now, one of the aspects that did not come out, at least that clear to me, was firstly the role of the permanent secretary. Now, from your testimony, you said it is a delegated power or authority. Is that correct?
Correct, my Lord.
That delegated power you get from the Marine Resources Act.
Correct, my Lord.
And then you refer to Section 61 that provides for regulations.
Correct, my Lord.
Okay. Now, just to go back to the regulations, you referred us to regulation regulation 2.
241, my Lord.
2-1.
241, my Lord.
It's,
2.
Under 4.
And the regulations appear under number 4 of their bundle 1 of the first applicant, my Lord.
yes.
And you initially referred to how applications are made.
Correct, my Lord.
And this is now the applications for exploration of rights and the allocating of quotas and the issuing of licenses.
Correct, my Lord.
Okay. Now the reason why I want us to clarify and to canvass this aspect again, because it is quite important in terms of the charges that you face. So from your testimony, and I'm just repeating, you said that an application for a right, that one is made to the permanent secretary.
Correct, my Lord.
Okay.
As delegated.
And and once a right has been awarded, what then basically happens?
Before a right is being awarded, especially ordinary rights in terms of 33, before it's awarded or granted, my Lord, a cabinet submission is prepared for an ordinary right, not for a right under the fisheries agreement. Cabinet submission is prepared with the names and the particulars of that entity, as well as the owners of that entity. That goes to cabinet, ordinary rights, in terms of 33. And that cabinet memo, my Lord, is prepared by the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources and brought to the minister for signature and to be tabled at the cabinet, my Lord.
Okay. So in terms of the sequence, the application is then made to the permanent secretary, then the permanent secretary will then later on present this to you. Now, before that is presented to you as the minister, does it go through any further process or any further discussion with any other team or any other department?
Before an ordinary right, because I want to make a distinction between the fisheries agreement right and the ordinary right. There is a committee which is established, chaired by the permanent secretary, called the Evaluation Committee of Fishing Rights, in terms of a policy instrument of the ministry. And that very committee consists out of people, members, my Lord, from appointed or identified by the PS, brought to the minister, and then the minister takes that very names of the committee to cabinet as well, prior to for the applications to be evaluated.
Who does the evaluation of the applications?
Under 3.3, section 3.3, evaluations of applications for rights are done by that very evaluation committee.
The committee that you just referred to?
That's correct, my lord.
Okay. So it then goes through a process?
Correct, my lord.
Now, can a minister, you are no longer a minister, and also obviously the time when you're the former minister, you are the former minister, when you were the minister, can a minister just award rights or allocate quotas without this vigorous process being followed?
Ordinary rights, I'm talking about ordinary rights in terms of section 33, my lord.
Yeah, for the ordinary rights.
Yeah, I'm coining them as ordinary rights, my lord, to make a distinction between the two. Ordinary rights must go through an evaluation committee. It must. There's no two ways about it. But for the fishing rights, in terms of section 35, which is the prerogative of the head of state, that one is also cleared by the head of state, not by an evaluation. It's in fact, comrade, my lord, those rights are political rights, in fact. Put it that way. Those bilateral rights are political, my lord.
Did you say under, is it 35?
35, yeah.
Okay.
Section fisheries rights, those are very sensitive rights, unfortunately.
So let us just quickly break this down. The ordinary rights, normal applications, and the allocation of quotas would go through this evaluation committee.
Correct.
The PS would then sign off and then it would come through to you.
Correct, my lord.
Okay. Now, in terms of the Section 35 rights, there is in terms of the Marine Resources Act.
Correct, my lord.
Okay. In terms of that particular Section 35, and let me rather refer you to that Section 35, it's part of the document there. You can go to number 3 of the bundle there. Underneath number 3 of the bundle, section 35, it will appear at page 21 of that particular document. Are you there, sir?
Yes, my lord.
So, in terms of section 35, it says the president may enter into a fisheries agreement with a member country of the Southern African Development Community, providing for such a country to harvest marine resources in Namibian waters. Is that what you were referring to when you were saying it's a political?
It is a political right, my lord.
Please speak up. I cannot hear you, sir.
My lord, it's a political right. That's 35(1). It's a very sensitive. It's a political right. I have to state it here, my lord. Okay. Because if you look at the rights in terms of this very section with Mozambique as well, there are 3 rights granted. My lord, three rights. One was Oasis. There is Marazul, a right for Marazul, and there was another one, Beirama, right, 233. It is also in the internal memo there. My lord, sorry, my lord.
Okay. So these political rights, so to say, to harvest fish, or fishing marine resources in Namibia, they are garnered through actual agreement signed by the president.
Okay. Yeah, my lord, can I maybe just help the court as well? Okay. The president has signed the SADC protocol.
Okay.
Number 2, the president, my lord, has delegated, he can delegate, and he has delegated the signing of that Angola-Namibia protocol, or MOU, or agreement, to the minister responsible for fisheries and marine resources through an act called the Assignment of Powers Act, Section 3 of that very act. And in fact, that was when the agreement or the MOU was entered into between Namibia and Angola. But I'll come to that, my lord. I will still come to that.
You must remember, we and the Honorable Court, we are not, day-to-day operators in the fishing industry. So at least for me, it is a bit difficult to understand, Mr. ESAU.
Thanks, my lord.
So when you were referring to this protocol, was it the protocol that you testified on earlier that the president signed? The protocol on fisheries?
Comrade, I'm accused on that very protocol. If it's between Namibia and Angola.
Namibia and Angola, yes.
My lord, I'm accused that I entered into a protocol, into an agreement, a purported agreement. This is what it was said, a purported agreement. I entered into that unlawful agreement, my lord. And that's what I'm charged for.
But that,
to allocate quotas in that agreement.
Mr. ESAU, just listen to the questions. You said the president would normally sign a protocol, correct?
Correct, my lord.
Now, which protocol are you referring to that the presidents would normally sign?
The president has signed the multilateral protocol on
Okay.
the SADC protocol on fisheries, which is multilateral, my lord.
Okay.
Which was availed to as evidence here.
That is under number 5, correct?
My lord, it's correct.
Okay.
It's correct, my lord.
Okay. My lord, I see that these documents have not as yet been handed up, at least, if I'm not mistaken. I see the Marine Resources Act has been marked as Exhibit C, the regulations as Exhibit D. Can we then mark the protocol fisheries, the SADC protocol on fisheries, as Exhibit E, my lord, if there's no objection?
Mr. Metcalf covered that. It's
He
already-
covered that, my
yes,
apologies,
already
my lord.
marked.
I will just mark it then as E. And then we go on to the next protocol. My lord, has that one been marked?
Not yet.
Okay. And you said this is the protocol that was signed by a predecessor.
Correct, my lord.
Okay. And this agreement, or this protocol, did it expire?
My lord, I have testified on this one under Article, I think if I'm not mistaken, Article 14, as well as